Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Here we go. We knew we weren't going to be able to avoid it. The big question was, what kind of shape would it take? Right now in the Fargo-Moorhead Metro, we're looking at rain mixed with snow.
Here's what we want to avoid. This is Denver, Colorado earlier. It's part of the same system that's moving through the valley right now. There are many variables that could have some of us getting all snow, others rain, and then there's the ice and wind.
Let's begin our coverage tonight with the latest from Hutch Johnson. Hutch, we certainly don't want Denver. How bad is it currently here?
Indeed. Currently, we are just now hearing reports that the blizzard is starting in Oaks, North Dakota. So down there in Dickey County, Ellendale area where they've had a lot of snow, heavy snow and winds over 35. That's the definition of a blizzard. And this is going to last all night and through the better part of your day tomorrow. In the areas you see colored in pink, that's where the blizzard warning is. So if you're in Fargo or Grand Forks, no, blizzard conditions haven't started yet, but the warning doesn't start until later into the overnight. We are seeing some more flakes mix in here in the FM area lately. The radar shows bands of heavy snow where you see the dark blues. It's been raining through the better part of the evening in parts of Minnesota and South Dakota, while the heavier snow stretches from Rapid City and Pierre right into eastern North Dakota. Notice this, from Ellendale and Oaks, where we have the reported blizzard conditions right now, there's no travel advisories in that part of the state, and the heavy band extends right into the central Red River Valley as well. These areas will see lofty accumulations very quickly. Here's the latest on the snowfall potential. 6 to 12 inches in Grand Forks, Valley City, out towards Jamestown. Fargo will have a healthy 3 to 6 by the time everything is all said and done. Now, because this storm comes with a lot of wind and possible travel, possible roof strain and stress, downed branches and power lines, localized street flooding, threat to livestock, and overturned vehicles with gusts over 60 miles per hour likely. I'll have much more in hour-by-hour detail on what you can expect in your neck of the woods here in just a moment, but batten down the hatches. It's going to be a long 36 hours.
All right, thanks, Hutch. And if you're planning on heading out tomorrow, get the forecast when you need it with the latest version of the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app. You can download the latest version for free so that you don't miss important alerts. Just search VNL Weather in your app store.
Those strong wind gusts and snow west of us are now moving our way. Driving conditions will be nearly impossible tonight and tomorrow.
Valley News Team's Joshua Peguero joins us live with how these conditions are making it hard for Fargo road crews. Joshua, what's it like out there?
Mike and Andrew, we've been following this winter storm all day today. I just want to show you, it's raining right now, but look how hard it's raining. This is my umbrella right now. As you can see, it's all wet. It's a much harder rain than it was earlier this afternoon, and it is icy. But Fargo road crews say their problem is the narrow streets. Now, we're going to take a look at, this is the issue they're talking of. These narrow streets are making it hard for the snow plows to get through. As you can see down there, that car being parked. Now, the city of Fargo announced today that they don't want cars parked along the streets, or they're encouraging cars not to park along the streets from starting at 10 p.m. tonight, which is just a few minutes ago, until Saturday at 6 in the morning. That's for crews can get through and plow the snow. Again, Fargo Public Works says they've been taking calls all day today, people complaining that there's snow on their driveways, but they're saying that they have to be out there, and they haven't been out there yet because of the rain, but they're planning to hit it soon overnight for the snow. Reporting live in Fargo, Joshua Peguero, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks, Joshua. Strong winds and ice could lead to some power problems before the night is over.
Our storm team coverage continues tonight with Valley News Team's Katie Opperly. Katie is live in South Fargo with conditions outdoors. And Katie, what can you tell us about problems with the power?
Mike, Andrea, I am currently in South Fargo, and if you can see, the wind is pretty strong. And the rain is really coming down. I'm completely soaked from this rain. And if you look behind me, the wind is pushing around trees and power lines. The problem with this wind and this winter storm coming in is that there's a potential for power outages. The National Weather Service has some tips to help you prepare. They say to keep mobile phones charged and gas tanks full in the case of this emergency. Also turn off or disconnect appliances, equipment, or electronics weeks. The power may return with momentary surges or spikes, and this can cause damage. Have flashlights and extra batteries for every household member. And lastly, have enough non-perishable food and water for your household. Basically, what it comes down to is this is being described as a historic storm headed our way. So be safe, stay indoors, and just don't get out in it. Reporting live in South Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
All right, Katie, and we'll have more updates in this newscast about tonight and tomorrow morning. West Fargo and Moorhead school districts have canceled classes for tomorrow. Fargo was already on spring break. All buildings will be shut down as well. NDSU will be closed. So is MSUM, UND, and Concordia. Grand Forks, West Fargo, and Fargo City offices are closed. We are getting many other schools and businesses that will be closed tomorrow because of our weather. For a complete list or to post a closing, go to our website. Click on the bright orange closing delays tab on the front page.
We have more information on the internal investigation that led to a veteran West Fargo teacher resigning. According to the school district's report, a female student says Cheney Middle School teacher Dan Mocktel touched her back and stomach when she was the only student in the classroom, making her feel, quote, very uncomfortable. His personnel file indicates that this was the second case of inappropriate touching in the classroom. In a previous instance, the report says Mocktel had the same student pretend to be a dog and get on all fours on his desk as part of a lesson. Another student was chosen to act as her owner and point at her body parts with a yardstick. Mocktel, who taught at Cheney Middle School, was given the option of resigning or be fired. He will continue to be paid while he is on administrative leave through the remainder of the 2018-19 school year. He was with the school district for nearly 30 years.
The possible misallocation of millions of dollars in North Dakota oil money may have affected a third fund. Lawmakers have been dealing with the revelation that about $137 million in state revenue from the oil-rich Fort Berthold Reservation did not go to a pair of school funds as it should have. Today, the state engineer testified that a fund that benefits water projects was shorted too by about $125 million. Republican leaders have argued that the money was correctly distributed before, but they have introduced legislation to begin steering some oil tax money into the school funds. Education and water groups told lawmakers the money should be repaid retroactively.
North Dakota's Senate has killed a measure that would require state leaders, including the governor, lieutenant governor, and their families, to disclose their travel and security costs. The Senate voted 30-15 to kill the House bill. It came after questions about the level of personal security for Governor Burgum. Burgum and the Highway Patrol claim the records are protected by state laws enacted after the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. But the Legislative Council, which is the legislature's research arm, says the records are not protected from disclosure. Supporters argue the information is needed for budget reasons.
We're learning a lot more tonight about the college admissions scam carried out by a California businessman.
It's involving wealthy, high-profile families, and the ripple effects of the federal investigation are reaching all the way to Capitol Hill. Jay Gray has the latest.
I feel like it's not right.
They should just study instead of just cheating their way into there.
Students across the country are feeling cheated themselves after a sweeping college admissions bribery scandal came to light yesterday.
It kind of hurts when you see someone getting in from not really doing anything.
Court documents say the scheme was in operation for nearly a decade and involved at least 33 wealthy parents paying $25 million to get their kids into some of the country's most elite schools through falsified test scores or pretending to be student-athlete recruits.
For every student admitted through fraud, an honest, genuinely talented student was rejected.
At the center of it all, William Rick Singer, a college admissions consultant who pled guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, and obstruction of justice.
Numerous parents paid Singer between $15,000 and $75,000 to have someone either take the exam for their child or to correct their child's answers afterward.
That includes Desperate Housewives star Felicity Huffman, who posted $250,000 bail yesterday.
Their actions were, without a doubt, insidious, selfish, and shameful.
Fellow Hollywood actress Lori Loughlin of Full House allegedly paid $500,000 in bribes to get her daughters into USC as members of the crew team, even though they didn't row. 9 college coaches were charged with using recruitment slots for kids who had no intention of playing college sports. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
Lori Loughlin posted $1 million bail and was granted permission to travel to British Columbia for a film project.
President Trump today announced that all Boeing 737 MAX planes will be grounded effective immediately after the second such deadly plane crash in 5 months. This announcement comes hours after Canada became the latest in a growing list of nations to order the aircraft out of service. All this following 2 crashes in the last 5 months involving 737 MAX planes that together have killed 346 people.
Boeing is an incredible company. They are working very, very hard right now. And hopefully they'll very quickly come up with the answer. But until they do, the planes are grounded.
A growing number of members of Congress have called for the planes to be grounded since Sunday's Ethiopian Airlines crash killed 157 people aboard.